Hello and welcome to the Victor Farmington Library card making class. Today we're going to make this beautiful three-dimensional card. There are just a couple of tools that we need to make it. We need to have a trimmer. I like to get the 6-inch Fiskars trimmer because I'm often making cuts. Every card I make cuts at 5.5 inches. All right. Fiskars also has a little wire in the cutting rail that you can't see it, but when you're actually working with cards, you can see exactly where you're cutting. I like my blade to be titanium because it lasts longer. You'll need to have an acrylic block to hold your stamp, and you need a stamp. The stamp that I have right now is from Stampings Up Loving Thoughts. You need to have ink. We're going to be doing it in black, so I like to use the StazOn black ink. It does give a very clear, crisp impression when you stamp. You want to take care of your stamps, so you're going to need a good stamp cleaner. I have Stamping Up StazOn ink cleaner, and I have a chamois to clean it off when I'm done. You need to have a quality tape runner. The tape runner that's included in your kit is this one right here, but I do prefer the Advanced Tape Glider. It has a lot more tape on its spool. And it's a little bit stronger tape. You need to have scissors. Any scissors you have at home will work. You need to have ribbon, anywhere between 1/2 inch and 5/8 ribbon to complement the paper that you use. For your card base, you need to have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I like my card base to be a 1/10 weight. You can get it at Staples, or if you need a little bit less, you can get them at Joann's. I just noticed they had them at Joann's. You need to have a cardstock frame. It doesn't have to be the 1/10. It could be considerably lighter. You need to have 2 sheets of designer paper. Again, it doesn't have to be the 1/10 weight. It can be any weight that you happen to have that you like the pattern on. And then you need the designer paper that's actually going to be making the dress. So let's get started making our card. We have all our tools. We're going to start by making the card base. As I told you, 5.5 is one I always make cuts at. So at 5.5 inches, I'm going to cut my card base. My frame is going to be 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Now for my designer paper, the part that's going on the inside, this is what I call the canvas. It's actually going to be 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. So I'm going to first cut the 3 3/4 width, and I can cut both of these pages at the same time. If you have an up-down pattern to your designer paper, you want to make sure that you cut it so that your up-down pattern will be up and down. All right. Now, what I call the less busy page, that's this one for me today. I like that to be a little bit bigger. So this one I'm going to make at 3 inches. This one here, the bottom part, which is busier, I'm going to make it 2 3/4. That'll give me a little bit of an overhang. So this is going to be 3 inches. This one is going to be 2 3/4. All right, so when I put it together, I will have it going at 5/8 or 5 inches height. And this is, we know already, 3 3/4 wide. That's all we have to, oh, there's one more cut I have to make, and that is the sentiment. And that is just very simple, 3 3/4, or 1. It is 3/4 of an inch, just under 1 inch. So 3/4 of an inch is what the sentiment is going to be. Those are all the cuts we have to make with the trimmer. Now, with your designer paper that we're making the dress out of, here, I actually have it printed on the back. Here's the skirt, and you have 3 different top styles. So we're just going to quickly cut these out. If you notice, I'm actually turning the paper, not the scissors. If you turn your scissors, you usually end up with a jerkier cut line. If you turn your paper, it usually is a lot smoother. So you can see I'm actually turning the paper, not the scissors. Okay, and I'm going to take this top right here for my top today. I've included 3 different top styles for you because depending on the designer paper you use, it's what kind of card you're making. Think about doing the dress and everything in a white on white pattern. You have a beautiful wedding dress. Do it with a shinier paper, you have a party dress. Again, I'm moving the paper here, not the scissors. Okay, there's my dress top. Oops, flip that over. There's my dress bottom. We'll get rid of all of these little pieces here. All right, we'll take our ribbon. This is 3 3/4, so you need your ribbon to be about 1/2 inch to 1 inch longer than that. So it has to be anywhere between 4 1/4 and 4 3/4 inches long. All right, and then the last thing we have to kind of cut out is our banner that's going across the top here. So let's stamp it first, and I'll give you a couple of tips on how to make these dovetails. All right, stick the stays on ink. All right, so oops. Put this away. Take a second to clean it. The more you clean and take care of your stamps, the longer they will last. And when they go out of print or out of manufacturing, they are very difficult to find again. So if you have a favorite, you really don't want to get rid of it. So take care of them and they will last a long time. So to make the dovetails, let me tell you, now it's too long. Okay, we know that it's too long. I did that on purpose so that you can practice how to do a dovetail. All right, there are 2 ways you can do it. All right, one way is to just put a little notch in your paper, and then from the corner to the top of your notch, you can just trim both in there, and then you have it. But I was shown a very interesting way to do it by my daughter. I'm going to take it and cut a piece off. Fold it in half, like so. All right, so we're like this. And then starting where your notch would be here on the fold has got to be the deeper part, cut it to the corner. And there you have a perfect dovetail. Now you don't want to fold this in half but you can put this on top like so and cut it this way. And then you know that you have the perfect size dovetail on both sides. Clever trick, she told me. And now the depth of the dovetail is the same on both sides. Thank you, Julie. Okay, let's start assembling the card now. I'm going to start with our dress, and we're going to actually do the folds. Now, the outside, the very first fold is going to be sticking to the card. All right, so you're going to keep that in mind. All right, it is a little difficult to fold these when you can't see the lines, so I quickly put a little crease in each one of the folds here. I can change them to be mountains or valleys after I've got the first crease in, but at least I know where I need to crease them. So all four of them, or the whole thing is creased. Now these two here are going to be attached to the card. So I'm going to make that a mountain. The next one is going to be a valley. All right, then it's going to be a valley, because they're going to be opposite each other, and then a mountain. All right, I'm going to do another mountain, mountain crease, then a valley crease. Don't get hung up on whether they're mountains or valleys. You'll be able to kind of put this together and see how it all fits once you have it made together, and you can easily switch it around if you have to. So when you're all done, kind of squish it together tightly, and you can see how they fold. All right. Now, with assembling our cards, and take your card base, fold it in half, almost exactly. You want to have a little bit of an overhang so that makes it easier to open your card. Then you're going to attach your frame onto it. And just like so. Then you're going to take your two pieces, and now they're not taped at all, and you're just going to lay them on there to make sure that you have it the way you want it to go. All right, which is, I like the way this is going to be. I like the busier part to be on the bottom and the plainer part to be on the top. I'm going to take a little bit of tape, tape the top of the busy piece. Thank you, Julie. And again, lay this exactly where it's got to go. I'm going to lay the top piece where it's got to go, making sure that the frame shows the way I want it to. And then I'm going to tape that down. Then I'm going to take the ribbon. It's not put on the card yet. I'm going to take the ribbon. One pass will work. I just went off a little on the side. This little part that I got on the side, I'm just going to fold it over or tear it off. It works easy. And I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put it on the card. You can have it right on the line. You can have it below the line. This is your dividing point. So wherever you like where the divide goes is where you put your ribbon. Fold it over. This is why you want it to be a 1/2 inch to 1 inch longer. Put a little bit of tape on there, and then tape your 2 pieces with the ribbon all the way around, because we're going to put it onto the card now. Now I like to hold my paper kitty corner so I can make sure that I see the same amount of frame on all 4 sides. Okay, then we're going to take our sentiment, we're going to put that on top, make sure we have it where we want it to be. Make sure our dress goes where we want it to be. I want to tighten this up just a little bit on the top. For those of you who missed how I held it, you've got a flat part, you got a flat part, you've got a skirt part that comes up and then goes down, and another flat part. This is going to be touching the card. Then it goes up again, and then it goes down again, and this part here is going to be touching the card. All right, let's squish it all together. And I'm going to just put some tape right on it. The 3 parts that are touching the card need to have the tape. Just like so. Again, if you have a little bit that's over, that comes out, just fold it over into the back of the card. All right? Spread it out, just spread your skirt out just a little bit. And push it down. I like to have my skirt angled to the side. You might like to have yours straight up and down. Either way is fine. Put some tape on the bodice. Not on me. All right. Again, there's tape that's around there. Just fold it underneath. Put that right on top like so. Put some tape on your sentiment. Line that up. And there, your card is done. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next month.